Hello, StarCraft fans! This is FalconPaladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between TatyGG, Kamui, DippinDot, and aceCate on Orbital Shipyard. Let's get rid of that, pull that up, bring up the names, and introduce the players. In the top right of Orbital Shipyard, we have the red Zerg team. It is TatyGG and Kamui. And in the bottom left of Orbital Shipyard, we have the red Terran player. It is DippinDot and aceCate working together. Apparently aceCate knows TatyGG from something. TatyGG throwing out the hello, hi there, they must be friends. I'm not sure if they know each other or if perhaps aceCate has seen TatyGG on one of my replays that I have cast of his. Anyway, this was submitted to me at FalconPaladin@gmail.com, and my screener Squeaks deemed it worthy for consumption. So, I'm in for a really good game, and you are too. Alright, so ZVT and Legacy of the Void. A lot of Terran players just go, you know, Marine, Marauder, Widowmine, Medevac, and it's kind of boring just because that's the same composition with a couple of adjustments that Terran have been playing since Wings of Liberty came out, which was like 5 years ago at this point. No, follow. There we go. But I have seen Terran players use Liberators, use Cyclones, and be good little Legacy of the Void players. The whole point of the beta is to use the new units and to see how effective they are, right? And so Blizzard comes in and watches these games. It gets feedback from the players, and players say, oh, the Liberator's not great, or the Cyclone is too strong, and they adjust things, and they change things, and they make the game better. If all you do here is go Ling Bling Muta against Marine, Marauder, Medevac, they don't learn anything about the beta, and they're in a bad place. So hopefully we will see our Terran team here, DippinDot and aceCate, go for some of those juicy Legacy of the Void units, but we will have to wait and see. Spawning pool coming up, hatchery as well for the Zerg player. Terran is actually going for a fairly early command center back here. I believe there was a barracks first, so it wasn't a command center first play. But the barracks is coming up. We're getting Marines out of it, so fairly standard defensive play at this point. Terran basically doesn't want to lose to an early Ling rush, which is not going to happen because the spawning pool just finished. At this point, there are already 2 Marines out. We're fully walled up. There's no way Lings are ever getting inside this base. And so Terran can continue to macro up and tech up and do whatever on earth they want. Getting another Vespian geyser taken with a refinery here. Want some of that juicy gas to get those units the Terran loves so very much. Second base is getting saturated slowly but surely for the Zerg player. And also Zerg is getting metabolic boost as well as 4, is that 6 total Lings? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Counting the 4 up top there. Chasing away the SCV but not bothering to chase it to kill it all the way. I think they would have been able to, but it would have been pretty close. The SCV getting a little bit bold, coming back on in, checking, is there a third base? There is not. There's an Overlord here, but no third base yet, which is kind of bad news for the Zerg player. You want to have those 3 bases as that Overlord dies to be up on your Terran opponent if they already have 2. And on this map, Orbital Shipyard, you definitely are going to have 2 bases from the Terran because it's so easy to take this one. It's so easy to defend, especially against Zerg. Zerg doesn't really have the ability to do drops to punish the Terran that easily. They can go slow Overlord drops, but this time it takes to get a slow Overlord from here over to here is like 6 minutes. It feels like you can see it coming, you can do good stuff, and this SCV is going to die. Against Protoss and Terran, drops up here are a much bigger issue. I've seen this cause problems time and time again for players that take this base. It's hard to defend this area of the map as well as your front door, as well as this area over here. It's just a large amount of space to cover. But again, against Zerg, it's not really a problem. So the Lings running around there are very happy about having killed themselves an SCV. And Metabolic Boost has completed. These are now officially Speedlings. They're being very active around the map. Again, this is an Archon mode play, Archon mode match. And so one player can be very active with the Lings, running around while the other player deals with things like macro and teching up. That SCV dies. He just wanted to scout. Ooh, lifts up the supply depot. There are enough Marines here, I think, to kill that. Don't go in there. Oh, the Zerglings just do a run by. None of them actually even die from those Marines and come down here. They're going to go after some of these workers, I think, splitting some off, hiding some in the back. Oh, did DippinDots recognize there were Lings left? He did. He's coming back after. He's chasing after these other Lings. The Lings are going to die, and no, 2 of them are darn near still alive. Tank trying to kill Lings, usually not that effective. Again, the Lings continue to live. These are scouting Lings, man. They saw the tank, they saw the double gas, they saw the factory and the starport. They are amazing, but they are going to die. And there they go. Their bodies falling all over the place. So we do have a tank. It's a tank Marine play here from the Terran. We've got a medevac on the way at the same time. Lair being researched and morphed in by the Zerg player TatyGG and Kamui. I think it's Kamui, and +1 melee. being researched as well as +1 Carapace just started there. So we are going something with Lings here, possibly taking up to Ultralisk super fast. Something I like to do, but it's so dangerous because there's a long time in the middle of the game where you do not have any units to defend whatsoever. It can get very, very scary in those situations. But if Ultras pop out here at like the 7-minute mark, it can be really worth it. It's just a matter of dealing with stuff like big Marine pushes or Marine tank pushes or medevac harassment using tanks already in siege mode, which is something that is existent or is new to Legacy of the Void. These guys can be picked up by medevacs and dropped down in siege modes. They don't have to re-siege and unsiege to get picked up and dropped. This Overlord spread is kind of interesting. It's kind of created a bit of a Maginot line here along this kind of vector of the map, just to see any drops that are coming along this way. I think putting another Overlord up here would be a good idea. Third base finally coming up for Tati. This is not excellent timing for that third. It's a little bit late. This is a 2-basing Terran. It is 67 to 60 total supply in favor of the Zerg and 33 to 41 workers. So Zerg's doing a pretty good job. In the macro game, Terran is definitely using those mules, has enough energy for one more mule. If they choose to use that, there are 2 working on this natural base. The Lings take a couple tank shots there and then run away on flames. On fire, in flames, on fire, dropping Marines here, notifying the Zerg player there is a drop coming. The Overlord did its job. The Lings come in to try to deal with it, but the medevac picks them up and chases them out of there. They do manage to escape. Medevac can't really go anywhere at this point. There are a lot of Lings under there. You try to drop these Marines, they will die. And I just don't know what the medevac is going to be able to do. Maybe scout, I guess. Maybe boost around there. Get up into the main before the Lings can get there. But Lings are really fast. And good positioning. There we go. Upper and lower levels are covered here. All the Marines end up dead that tried to land. All 3 of them. The remaining 5 try to get out of there. And the medevac, they say, please don't drop us down there. There are so many Lings. They do have +1, +1, +2 on the way. And a Spire on the way as well. So, we'll have to see how this works out. Actually, this is a planetary fortress coming on up there. A bunch of pings checking to say, where did that go? And it's right here, killing another Overlord. But once again, the Overlord fulfilling its responsibility as a scouting Overlord, dropping more Marines on the ground to die. And the medevac says, oh, medevac, why did you do that? Why did you drop Marines to their deaths there? They didn't want to go. Kamui saying, 1 is all I need. I'm not sure what he's talking about there, but this is TatyGG and Kamui talking to each other on the same team. In all chat, though. There's a lol coming out of there from DippinDot. I'm not sure what exactly the conversation is about, but 10 mutas are on the way for the Zerg player. +2/+2 being researched at the same time. Another starport, 2 more factories on the way, and again, this third base is up and running for DippinDot. So Zerg is kind of not keeping up on that base production like they need to, but it is 53 to 44 total harvesters in favor of Zerg, 97 to 90 total supply in favor of Zerg. So keeping up a little bit better than you would expect, using these +1 Lings to take down this debris that does have 3 armor. You'll notice it's going down very quickly, though. Both sides are being attacked by Lings, and they do have the +1 attack, which helps a lot. It adds up. +1 attack for Lings means more just because they attack so quickly. 0.5 weapon speed. That means that the modifier for that +1 attack does a lot of damage. Dropping in Hellions right on top of these Lings. They are forced to retreat here. They're lining up, though, splitting fairly well now, but the Lings try to get a good surround. Oh, they pin the Hellions to that corner, and all the Hellions end up dead. The drones go back to work. 4 of them have died in this game. Infestation Pit on the way for Tati and Kamui. And pneumatized Carapace, pneumatized Carapace, and +1 flyer attack. Bit of a muta harass came on in here. I don't know if they killed much of anything. There were missile turrets. Let's take a look. 2 SCVs have died, but I think those were both the Lings. And 2 Liberators actually died. When the heck were there Liberators there? 2 more Liberators in production. I guess they were here anyway. So there are Liberators on the way for the Terran player. That's good news. I like to see Liberators absolutely in my replays. So many missile turrets being built by the Terran player right now, desperately trying to get them up before those mutas come back. No more mutas are in production. I lied. 5 mutas in production for the Zerg player, as well as a hive there. And I just trying to pick off individual Marines. Got that. Picking up the siege tank, getting it back on out. Good micro there. Oh, Widow Mine destroyed before it can fully burrow as well. A lot of Lings here, though. Lings and mutas flying on in with an Overseer. And Changeling is getting roasted to death as well by those Hellions. They don't actually catch fire when they get roasted by Hellions. That's interesting. Most units do. The mutas flying again. They pick off another Widow Mine. They do get it, but the Liberators with their splash damage are doing a good job against those mutas. Liberators do 7 damage, 2 attacks, a range of 5, weapon speed of 1.29, and they do splash damage. 4th base on the way for the Zerg players. Creep spread looking okay. A lot of these creep tumors could be pushed out there, but they're not. And again, I know this is red on red. It makes it really hard to see things like when there are attacks happening and if there are drops moving out across the map. But I'll do my best to keep my eye on all the action here. Please forgive me, though, if I miss one or two of these battles, like the one I missed over here earlier. The mutas fly on in, taking shots from Thors, from Liberators, from missile turrets, are forced to back out. No big deal, just keeping the pressure on the Zerg player. Queen's under production, so what are you doing with the Hive as the Zerg player? That is my question. The tech is not really there. We're not going for a Greater Spire. I don't see an Ultralisk Cavern. There's the Ultralisk Cavern. Alright. I was going to say, you don't get all of these melee and armor upgrades without Ultras. So that's definitely what the Zerg player is going for. The mutas recognize there are a lot of turrets. Not really worth it to go in there and do things. We're just kind of keeping Terran pinned in their base, but a Terran on 3 base is a little bit scary. It's a bit of a scary thing. The factories are humming. We are getting more and more tanks out here. It's an interesting composition. It's basically a mech composition including Liberators, which I guess is Sky Terran, but considered mech as well, knocking down the debris to the top of this ramp and getting this debris as well. Just an additional avenue of attack, I think. Or the Zerg wants to be able to harass the Terran player if he decides to come in here and take this gold. Running back are Hellions, trying to roast up some drones here at the 4th base. There is nothing to defend over here. No, Tati and Kamui. Kamui, run the drones, split the drones. Don't line them up like this. Oh, the lineup. 3 of them die immediately. More and more getting roasted. They're forced to attack the Hellions, end up dead at the same time. The Lings in a terrible position. Then swing around the backside, get that full surround on the Hellions. A lot of them end up dead, but the Hellions are gone too. So 27 Lings have died, 14 drones have been roasted, most of them roasted by Hellions here. There goes the creep spread. Look at this. Creep spread is now pushing down this right side here. Another command center up here for DippinDot and aceCate. Throwing this into a planetary fortress as well. A lot of Ultras are on the way in these eggs. Chitinous plating being researched, +3/+3 for the ground melee units as well on the way for our Zerg team. Creep spread up on here. I don't think I've ever seen that before in any of my casts. That's interesting. I kind of like it. You kind of throw down creep down on these gold bases, not allowing the Terran player to take the gold, which has been a problem for Zerg players that I've seen in the past. These Ultras, again, are at 2/2, +3/+3 on the way with that chitinous plating. They will have 8 armor soon enough. Is it going to be 8? So 1, 2, +3, plus... Where's my chitinous plating? It adds +4 armor. So, yep. That is, I believe... Oh my gosh, my math is so bad. Yeah. So it is going to be actually 7. I think 7 is the total you get. Either way, the Lings coming in with the Ultras, trying to get us around on some stuff, getting right on the face of these Thors and these Hellbats. A lot of Circles of Death are being thrown down by the Liberators, and the Ultras decide to back out. It is not worth the time to try to deal with the Liberators. They need some anti-air for that. Maybe Corruptor Swarms would be pretty good. I've seen that, where Corruptors with plus armor can deal with Liberators pretty darn well. There's not much anti-air here either. Are there any Thors left at all? No, there's a missile turret. There we go. 15 Corruptors in production for our Zerg team. Wow, that's going to be able to deal with those Liberators. No problem at all. Mutas I don't think are their answer, especially not mutas in that few number. Hellions coming up the left side. Trying to catch these transferring drones. They're almost going to... Oh, they do see them. Are they going to split off? They do. Oh, Blue Flame as well has been researched. These poor drones are just trying to run for their lives. They all end up getting roasted except for one. More transferring drones taking that Blue Flame attack, turning them into spine crawlers, trying to keep them alive. And more drones up here at the 5th base are just dying left and right. The mutas fly on in, but they're a little bit too late. I don't think any of these drones are going to live. They do not. One transferring late does manage to survive. Hellions can outrun mutas, though. Another base coming up here as well for the Zerg player. But all the Hellions are under fire from the Glaive Worms, trying to run on in. The Lings intercept them and a Queen, and they end up dead. But Zerg has lost 33 workers, still up 66 to 62 total harvesters, so not bad. Not bad indeed. The Ultras are here with their +8 armor, so it is 8. Okay, 8 and +3 with the Kaiser Blades, doing 44 damage, weapon speed 0.61. It's pretty fast attack for such a big unit, right? You'd think Ultras would be kind of slow moving with those giant scythes out there, but nope, they are fast. The mutas fly in, take a ton of splash damage from that giant Liberator core with +2 attack, giving them 18 total damage per volley there. Whew, that's a lot. And again, splash damage at the same time. So Corruptors don't have any plus armor upgrades, but battle cruisers are on the way for DippinDot and aceCate. Running in here is the Zerg player with the Ultras in front. Corruptors trying to kill all these Liberators very, very quickly. The Ultras making quick work of everything on the ground. Siege tanks are dying. Missile turrets as well going after the command center. The Corruptor ball is looking all right, but there are only 5 of them left. They're slowly trying to whittle down this Liberator core, and that's it. All the Corruptors are gone, but the Ultras are trying to kill this. Yamato cannon being used on those Ultralisks as well. And 1 Liberator left, might be able to kill this planetary, but no, it is definitely not. All the Circles of Death being used on it. A couple more shots, the Ultralisk does definitely fall. And the planetary is saved. So resources lost tab after that battle. 7,100 minerals and 2,175 for DippinDots. 10,000 minerals and 4,650. 4,000 gas has been lost for our Zerg player there. Units lost tab as well shows 8 Ultralisks, 15 Corruptors died. 8 Liberators, 4 tanks, how many Thors? 1 Thor, 13 Hellions, so definitely the Zerg player playing this pretty well, Terran player rather, definitely playing this very well. Command center landing over on this direction. Ultralisks are being repopulated, Corruptors at the same time. No upgrades for the armor on those Corruptors though. I think, again, that's the key. I really think you want the armor to deal with those Liberators, but there are so many bases for Zerg right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... total bases for Zerg, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total for Terran. So keeping up that way, scanning, getting rid of the creep tumors that are pushing up onto this 4th base for DippinDot. The battle cruisers do have +2, +3. Terran ship plating is on +3 right now. Hydralisks on the way, with the Hydralisk den being researched. Ravens cloak for Banshees. Is that personnel cloaking or? Yep, that is for Banshees. At the same time, Planetary Fortress over here being researched. So definitely wanting the planetaries out when they're kind of far away from the main base. Have some idle workers here as well for the Terran player. And yeah, battle cruisers taking care of all of these Lings that try to run in. A couple of them do manage to survive, but the other planetary kills them as their bodies go flying. Lings chasing around, trying to find bases to kill. There's one over here, but it's already planetary. This one too. Actually, that's going to be an orbital command and another base coming up for Toddy. I think that's their 7th base for this team. Ling's trying to scout, but Widowmine Tank Hellion, a little bit too strong there for you guys. A little bit too strong indeed. 2 Blue Flame Hellions with the +2 attack on their way up here. How much damage do they do to Light? 21 damage versus Light. Actually, almost as much as an Adept, but Adepts don't do splash damage, so I can see the difference there. Hellions coming right on in here. Oh, double Spinecrawler attack. Kills both of them, though. The creep spread has been pushed back just a little bit. Could probably start pushing it down this direction at the same time. Another Hellion comes up with 4 kills. It is a recruit, but Ultralisks kill that guy. Probably overkill, if we're going to be honest. Pushing out here is our Sky Terran with Liberator and Battle Cruiser. Kamui calls the GG and has left the game. So TatyGG is left alone here. Apparently has no plans to leave the game at this point, at the 16-minute mark. A lot of Spore Crawlers getting shots off on these battle cruisers and actually holding their own fairly well against those BCs as well. Here come the Ultra and Corruptor composition. They're going to try to deal with this as they know how, which is going face first into everything. The Hellbats do end up dead. The tanks as well. Quick work of them. Yamato cannon on all of those Ultras. Couple of them die, but most of them are still alive. Where are the Corruptors as part of this army? There they are. Corruptors with the, is that plus flyer attack? Tell me that's plus flyer attack. It is, yes, plus flyer attack, plus fire defense. On the way, we have Infestors as well. Parasitic Bomb, perhaps, on the battle cruisers might be a good idea. This hatchery is going to fall, and it does. These workers might survive, and they do. The Corruptors come right on in, want to get rid of these Liberators. I think they outnumber them, though, doing a good job of it. And Parasitic Bomb being thrown down on top of these battle cruisers. They are taking damage and dealing damage to their friends. All of the Liberators are now dead. Parasitic Bomb being used at the same time here. Parasitic Bomb on top of these BCs, but not enough to kill them. They have a huge health pool, 550 total health. Yamato Cannon again being used against these Ultras, killing 2 or 3 of them, 4 of them. It looks like, even with that 8 armor. More Corruptors coming in, going after individual battle cruisers, but running for their lives, recognizing the BCs are too strong. They have +3 yet? No, they do not have +3 attack quite yet. ATA laser battery is at +2. Terran ship plating is giving them 6 total armor. So that's, yeah, 6 armor on those BCs. Pretty good. Again, not a good unit. I don't think battle cruisers really see that much use in actual professional or GM level games, but It's just a fun unit. It attacks air and ground. It has this tactical warp ability. Where is it? Tactical jump, rather. After 4 seconds, warps to the target location. Battlecruiser is invulnerable while warping, and it does not require vision. More corruptors come around the backside here, trying to kill 1 or 2 of these battlecruisers, and they do manage to do it. Look at this, slowly whittling down that battlecruiser group. Ultras coming around from the left side, taking out tanks that are on the ground. Banshees trying to kill the Ultras at the same time. The Corruptors, I think, are going to win this battle in the air, and they're going to. There are just too many Corruptors. 50 Lings in production, 6 more Corruptors in production, more battlecruisers. The Banshees finally falling as well, and that Terran army just got wiped off the face of the earth. Terran player has lost 14,000 minerals, 7,000 gas, 18,000 minerals, 9,000 gas for Zerg. So basically, the battles have been in favor of the Terran in general, but that battle was definitely one-sided. All these mules are going to die. The Corruptor's going to finish off that orbital command as well, not allowing the Terran to expand on this side of the map. They can take this side, apparently. Not many attacks at all over there from the Zerg, but try to settle on the left side of the map. We will explode your command center and have the pieces rain down into oblivion. Lings running around. Do they have the adrenal glands upgrade? They do not. Weapon speed 0.5. Where is it? It is available. Adrenal glands is good, increasing the attack speed of Zerglings by 40%. They hit so fast and so hard, getting us around on these tanks. Oh boy. Yep, Lings are a good counter to tanks if they're in low numbers like that. Trying to kill all these workers. The Ultra's trying to get a good angle to take care of these. Oh, SCVs dying left and right. There is a planetary fortress here, though. We'll have to see how this works out. Are we going to repair it is the question. Yes, the SCVs do repair it. Missile turrets being killed at the same time. The Corruptor Ball trying to chase down those Liberators. They want nothing to do with those Corruptors. Good repair work. Again, this planetary fortress is up to 18 total kills. Using Caustic Spray on that missile turret. That was an interesting play. And now using it on the planetary fortress. Caustic Spray. So powerful. New ability here. Emits a stream of acid that deals 7 damage per second for 4.3 seconds. Then increases to 35 damage per second. And look at this. Are we barely able to out-damage the healing available from these SCVs? Look at that. Look at this. It gets, oh, slowly going down. And yes, it finally does fall. The Corruptors turn around, take out a couple Liberators. That Battlecruiser is not in a good place either. It might be able to live because of that missile turret, but no, it ends up exploding over the top of those SCVs. Running away, Corruptors again. I like seeing Corruptors have a certain level of utility here. That Caustic Spray cannot be used on units, as you can see here. Not available in that sense. The Lings running on in, surrounding those Hellbats, and then getting us around on these tanks as well. I don't know if there are enough Lings to actually do this, though. And no, there are not. They take out 1 or 2 of these tanks, but there are still a bunch of them here. With +1, +3, +1 attack, the Corruptors are following the tanks. 4 mutas on the way, 30 Lings on the way as well. And this, again, this is just TatyGG playing all by himself right now against 2 players and pretty much holding his own. These tanks, as the Lings kind of trickle in, there we go. Now they're going to actually regroup into a position where they can attack all at the same time. And I think the siege tanks know it. They've overextended. They have no Hellbats to deal with those Lings. And if mutas show up, they're in a lot of trouble. There we go. The Lings get a full surround here. But again, I don't know if their numbers are big enough. The mutas here to supplement at the same time, though, should be able to get rid of all of these tanks. Thor's coming into the picture, however, using their Javelin missiles to kill a single muta, forcing the other ones away. All the tanks are gone. Hellbats shoot the rest of the Lings back where they came from, and the Corruptors are still here. I don't know if the Corruptors are going to be super useful that much anymore. Units tab shows there are 5 Liberators on the map, so that's pretty good. But this is a lot of Corruptors just for 5 Liberators. I think he might want to sack some of those as the Lings come in for more attacks on this orbital command. Yep. Forcing a liftoff there, trying to take down mules before they can get back home. All the mules are definitely going to die here. Chasing that SCV, and oh, this was not replaced with a planetary fortress. These Lings are going to have a field day on this base, trying to repair it, but forcing the liftoff. So many SCVs have died. Oh, just getting eaten alive by those Lings. Such a terrible, terrible sight to see. 57 SCVs have died, 33 drones. Hellbats making quick work of those Lings, though, but no, not quite good enough. A Thor as well going to fall to these Lings. 3 more Thors here should be able to clean up the rest of these Zerglings. They're +3, but DippinDot calls the GG. TatyGG as well. And the Thors actually fall to those Lings. Amazing play indeed. Plus 0.35 weapon speed. Adrenal glands was researched there. Finally, some Hellbats show up. DippinDot's left the game, so it's TatyGG versus aceCate right now. as Liberators swoop on in here to get rid of those Mutalisks and get chased away by the Corruptors. Again, Corruptors hitting really hard right now. 24 damage versus Massive, 16 damage overall. So that's why they are so effective against those battle cruisers. That's 24 damage per volley. And there were a lot of Corruptors there. Are they using Caustic Spray to get rid of these missile turrets? They are not. They're choosing instead to take shots to the face. Hellions running out, trying to find a good place to go. And nope, that Mutalisk ends up dead. They're regrouping. Another Muta comes in all by itself. Gets destroyed at the same time. Muta's not a great idea against this composition. Don't do well against Thors. Don't do well against Liberators, especially not with that +2 attack upgrade. But again, the number of bases available for Zerg is pretty high. I thought that was a Zerg base, but it's not. DippinDots, or aceCate at this point, actually has that one. Or aceCate? I can't remember what it is. Either way, one of those players' names is Ace. The drones are coming over to this hatchery that is not quite finished yet. Some long-distance mining will commence eventually here. Widow Mines, Hellbats, Thors, Liberators is the composition of choice here for our Terran player aceCate. The Lings come running in here, but that Blue Flame Hellion composition is really, really good against Lings. I can't see what's happening because of the Corruptors, but look at that! They actually managed to clean up most of that army. The Widow Mines might have gotten some friendly fire off to help those Lings out, to be entirely honest. But again, the long distance mining continuing. This base not quite finished yet. This Orbital Command is up, but nothing's mining from it. Orbital Command here taking a ton of mules. That income is going to spike very, very quickly. And yes, it is. The Terran player is at approximately 700 minerals right now, but let's see what happens when the mules come on in. Yep, they spike it right up to about 1,000, 1,100 compared to 600, 700 for our Zerg player. Back to the production tab. Caustic Spray being used on this Planetary Fortress. An excellent use of that ability. Planetaries cannot lift off and fly away, so it is forced to sit there and deal with its fate. Boosh. Exploding. The Widow Mines coming on in. Going to try to plant themselves. This mass Widow Mine play, very, very interesting. And are they going to get a shot? They do. They almost kill a single Corruptor. Not quite, though. The Corruptor has enough HP and armor to deal with that. This base is now fully operational and mining drilling claws on the way to make the Widow Mines drill a little bit more quickly. So this has kind of turned into just as kind of a silly game. There is a Swarm Host on the field. How many Swarm Hosts are there? 1. Now 0. As our Terran player decides to try to win this with Mass Widow Mine. I've tried this before. I've played Terran and Legacy of the Void against some of my friends in just a big game. And I decided to go straight Widow Mine. And it's pretty good early on. It makes people really paranoid to leave their base if there are Widow Mines outside and just scattered across the map. But as they get higher tier units... Oh my goodness! That was a lot of dead Corruptors. Total number of dead Corruptors currently stands at 65. 65 dead Corruptors. 19 Ultras, 29 Mutalisks. Holy shamoly. 21 Liberators, 26 tanks, 9 battle cruisers. A Raven has fallen here as well. So Hellbats helping out this Widow Mine composition. Another Corruptor falls. Again, I think Corruptor is not the proper response for this. There aren't that many air units left. Widow Mine's burrowing in, forcing a retreat of all of these drones. They say, get us out of here. We want to go home. We don't really want to do anything with these Widow Mines running for their lives. The Roaches popping on in with that +3 armor, but +1 attack, getting right on top of those Widow Mines and then getting out. Whoa! Widow Mine shots killing a lot of stuff here. More and more Roaches dying. Splash damage killing a bunch as well. Is there an Overseer? There is not. Look at these Widow Mine shots just consistently going after units. Hellbats ending up dead. A Defender mode being thrown down. Finally, the Ultras right on top of these Widow Mines with the Overseer. Might be able to clean them up before Defender mode takes care of them. And yes, all the Widow Mines do end up dead. The Liberators, though, with their Defender mode doing 85 damage to everything in that circle of death, is enough even for the bravest Ultralisk to run away from home here. Trying to throw up some spores to deal with these Liberators, but don't go mine. There we go. Backing out. Backing out with the drones, because look at that. They can one-shot larva. That's interesting, isn't it? I think it is. More tanks and Hellions on the way again to accentuate this army of Liberators. Widow Mines burrowing, taking some shots. Oh, Ultralisk does end up dead. This Ultra with 7 kills as a Slayer ends up dead in the face of those tanks as well. Getting the Hellions, that's what Roaches are made for. Trying to get on top of these tanks at the same time. The upgrades for the tanks are pretty good, but there's a lot of Roaches at the same time. And yes, all the tanks are taken out except for that one in the backside. Are there enough Roaches to deal with it? Marine takes a shot to the face from the Acid Saliva. ends up dead, and chasing again. This roach count getting pretty darn high. Everything on the ground is getting owned by these roaches with no upgrades but the +1 attack. I guess the +3 armor as well, but not as upgraded as you would expect at this stage in the game. Widowmine shots, though. Oh, goodness. Ooh, roaches are taking damage, but they do not care, except their Overseer's gone, so they can't see them anymore. Defender mode being popped up, and one shot, two shot. It does two-shot roaches getting out of that circle, going after more and more SCVs. The SCVs are dying left and right. Widowmines burrowing right on top of these roaches again. Another one ends up dead. Trapped in a corner are these roaches. They're trying to kill this refinery before their end, I think, because there's really nowhere for them to go. I mean, they're going circles, ring around the rosy, around this refinery, transferring or morphing into Ravagers. So possibly trying to use the corrosive bile ability to get rid of these guys. Widowmine popping in at the same time, trying to burrow, taking shots. One of them die, two of them die, and that's it. All the Ravagers die. That's it. Complete destruction there. More Corruptors being built just because, again, there are Liberators on the field, specifically two, but don't want to overmake them if you're TatyGG right now. So here we are at the 30-minute mark. We're going Widowmine Liberator right now for the Terran player. These transferring drones are for sure dead. Oh, two of them live. You know what? In the last few of the games that I've cast, I've discovered if I say something's dead, it is often incorrect. So if I want something to live, I should say that it's dead and see what happens. Corruptor's taking out one Liberator, but Widowmine's getting rid of the rest of the Corruptors. Whoa! Another shot. Oh, this Corruptor is so almost dead here. Widowmine. Boom. Thank you for playing Corruptor, but that is about it. Liberator with 8 kills now. It is considered a corporal. We're just kind of trickling units left and right here. Both players are fairly starved for money. Playing this pretty well. The Roaches trying to take out individual Widowmines as best they can, getting one there. Widowmine shots almost enacting, but not quite. Where's the Overseer? We need an Overseer if we're going to do this, Toddy. I do not know, but aceCate doing the best with what units he has available to him, continuing to produce Hellions. I don't know if Hellions are the right answer. Has some idle SCVs here, probably could use to be mining over at this area. This getting pretty mined out at the same time. Are we going to mine out most of these adjacent bases? Oh, another attack. Oh, the Blue Flame Hellions stacking up all of these drones, taking Blue Flames to the face. The Hellion massacre of all of those drones there. The Roaches come in to try to forestall it, running for their lives. The Widowmine shots killing a bunch of them, however. Units lost tab, 52 drones, 65 SCVs. Just a worker massacre, the likes of which I have rarely seen before on this channel. So many Widowmine shots. I wish there was a way to see units killed by Widowmines in the stats tab, because I don't think it's possible, but I feel like the number would be pretty high for this particular game. Glial Reconstitution on the way for the Roaches, because again, faster Roaches mean they can dodge Widowmines better, slowly whittling down that Widowmine count and then dodging out. Can't go after buildings, so that Creep Tumor is going to survive and live to spawn more and more creep. Boop, there it goes. Ooh, bad positioning Hellions. Takes a massive saliva to the face and end up dead at the same time. We have some Corruptors flying around just to make sure no Liberators show up. Units tab shows us there are no Liberators. Terran has 3 Hellions, 2 Marines, and 25 Widowmines. 25 Widowmines, ladies and gentlemen. And this is why I like to cast some of the lower tier games, because crazy stuff happens. You will not see this in a GM level game. Terran just going straight Widowmine like this. I mean, I guess there was that game in Heart of the Swarm, I want to say it was about a month ago now, where a player did win a TVZ by basically going pure Widowmine. And the Zerg didn't really know how to deal with that. There was a lot of kind of armchair quarterbacking, Monday morning quarterbacking in that game later, which basically means players or people that watched the game said, well, they should have done this, and you should have done this to win it as the Zerg. But in the heat of the moment, when there are Widowmines at your front door, you can't necessarily always think of the correct composition to deal with them. And you know what the answer is for these Widowmines? It's going to be like Broodlords. If you can get Broodlords and just rain down Broodlings on top of them with support of the Overseers, you're going to be okay. But again, I don't know that Toddy understands that. He's trying to go Roach. Overseer ends up dead again. Luckily, there are 2 replacements. And just kind of trying to siege up this base straight up with Roaches. And good micro here from TatyGG, actually. Getting shots off, killing 1 or 2, running back. Oh, did take a couple shots. Not what he wanted to do. Getting upgrades for the Roaches would be pretty fantastic as well, as a single drone dies. Look at this Widowmine micro from aceCate right now. Stutter stepping forward. And that's it. This base is under siege. The Roaches really can't get in here to kill it. They're going to try to come from that left side, but they will take Widowmine hits. More reinforcements popping on in on top of this ramp. The Hellbats trying to kill a building. They're so bad against buildings, though. 20 damage. Maybe not as bad. The tanks come in to assist as well. Roaches on the front lines taking shots, end up all dead to the Widow Mines. And Hellions overextending a little bit, end up getting killed at the same time. Drones taking shots to the face from those siege tanks. Widow Mines again, burrowing forward. Lifting up, moving, burrowing forward. Roach Ravager seems to be the composition of choice for our Zerg player. I'm not sure if that's a great idea or not. But, I don't know. Corrosive Bile, maybe? And again, taking a couple shots off, killing Corrosive Bile, missing there. Once again, trying to kill the tanks. Does kill one. Interesting, with the Corrosive Bile. That tank's left behind. I think it's dead. Corrosive Bile killing it. Widow Mine shots. Oh, getting dodged. There it is. 60 damage from that Corrosive Bile to all units in the area upon impact. It does have that little indicator, which makes it usually easy to dodge, but Widow Mines are stationary, right? And so they'll take those shots. They can't really dodge them. A couple more shots there, and that's it. aceCate has left the game. TatyGG is victorious, and that is it. So TatyGG wants to stay in. Oh, just kidding. Has actually left the game victorious there, though. But, woo, pretty intense Archon mode game there. I don't think I've seen one where both teams lose a player halfway through. And then it's just kind of a 1v1 from that point on. But congratulations to our Zerg player for winning. And you know what? I have to give props as well to aceCate for trying to make that mass Widow Mine play work. Really fun to watch. Just kind of a fantastic game. Again, I hope you enjoyed what you saw today. But this has been FalconPaladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. If you did like what you saw, if you did like what you heard, if you do appreciate daily Legacy of the Void uploads, hit that like button. You can hit that subscribe as well to catch daily casts from me. You can also find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /FalconPaladin. And until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.